Hello and welcome to Matt Letitia's newsletters. This is number 13. We've fallen a bit behind because I've been unwell, but it's fine. Excuse me. Hi all. Hope you've had a good week. Mine started as per usual with a game of golf. This time with former teammate James Beattie and friend of mine Pete Blay, who has come up with the idea of Golf Premier League, which you may have seen me post about recently. Oh. My partner James managed to get a net birdie on the last hole to secure us a draw against Pete and his mate Vinny. A telephone interview with Luke Williams was the only other commitment that day. Luke is writing a book about football mavericks and wanted to hear my thoughts on the beautiful game and my approach to it. I love how he just lists everything he did. It's so good, isn't it? Tuesday was pretty quiet and consisted of a brunch in Salisbury with AJ Roberts and Callum the unconventional journalist, a few jobs my wife had asked me to do, and my regular Tuesday night paddle tennis. Now, does this guy call himself Callum the unconventional journalist like he's a rapper or something? Okay. It's hard to tell if he's just calling him that. I don't know. Wednesday morning was my quarterly meeting with my pension advisor and golf back at my home course, Stoneham. I was hoping that being back on familiar ground would help get my form back, but despite a reasonable front nine, I finished 7 over par and the handicap has edged up to 3.8. Man, I'm sorry, I've got no idea what that means. I'm learning about golf through him, but I don't know what I don't understand 3.8. Thursday was another quiet day. A few jobs that my wife has asked me to do and a few hours up at Stoneham on the driving range and on the putting green trying to find my game. So see, things haven't gone well and then he goes and he practices. That's good, I guess. Also, he's really abandoned like punctuation, like grammar, like there's no commas and yeah, fine. Friday morning was spent watching the Ryder Cup and then it was time to hit the road. I'd been asked to speak at the inaugural People's Health Alliance gala dinner in Leeds. It's a great project they've got going there, so please check them out. I left for it doesn't tell us what it is. I left for Leeds at 12:15 and intended to drop into Harrogate first to visit my niece, her husband and their 3 little girls, including twins who I'm godfather to, and my brother Kevin, who was over from Guernsey visiting his daughter. Just such specific, boring detail. The traffic was not kind and I was finding myself short of time, but I managed to get to Harrogate at 6:15 p.m, but with a 50-minute journey into Leeds, it meant I only had 20 minutes for a quick drink and steal some prawn crackers from the Chinese takeaway they were eating. The evening was lovely and met Canadian freedom fighter Chris Sky there too. Canadian freedom fighter, man. I gave my little speech and then headed back home, eventually arriving home at 2:45 a.m. Oh my God. Saturday and my brother Carl was arriving at Southampton Airport at 8 a.m. that morning. Thankfully, my wife volunteered to go and pick him up so I could get a bit more sleep. Excuse me. Carl is a Leeds fan and was over for the lunchtime kickoff at St Mary's, but before that, we had enough time to watch the first 2 quarters of my daughter's netball match. Another victory. The game at St Mary's was quite a surprise, with Saints racing to a 3-goal lead by half-time and then hanging on fairly comfortably in the second half for a 3-1 win. And of course, I wouldn't mention it too much to Carl over the rest of the weekend. Of course, because he supports the opposition team that lost. Sunday morning was daughter's second netball match of the weekend and another victory. My brother was very impressed with his niece's skills on the netball court, commenting to me after a short while that Ava has the same ability to see passes that me and you had, My brother had the same creative brain as me on the football pitch, but wasn't quite as prolific in front of goal. Okay. After netball, it was... I mean, that's a bit rich for the brother to be like, oh, she's as good as you and me. As if like, oh, Matt Le Tissier, I was just as good as you. After netball, it was to the White Horse in Anfield for lunch before heading back home to see the finale of the magnificent European victory in the Ryder Cup. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the insight and remember to try and do something every day that makes someone else's life a bit better, a little bit better. Best Matt, MLT. Unsubscribe. No. That was a really good insight, wasn't it? Just listed the things that he did in order. It's mad that he doesn't put a bit of the source from the tweets. Don't go into this. Completely different guy on Twitter. So there you have it. It's a good ending. That was Matt Le Tissier's newsletter. See you next time for the next one.